Welcome back everybody to the channel, and today's playbook is the 4-6 playbook 4-6 normal, utilizing the speed package. Lots to unbox right here, so be sure you grab some popcorn, favorite soda, have a seat, and let's go ahead and lock in. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure you hit that sub button as well. It is free, and it's going to help you guys out a ton on defense, especially with the classic coming up. So, Fire Zone 3 is what we're going to be using. I'm actually going to go ahead and get us onto a hash mark real fast. I don't know how our batteries are low, but our batteries are apparently low right now. We're going to go ahead and get on a hash because this is crucial, and it becomes a lot more understandable why we're going to be using this. And let's get into 4-6 normal. Paying attention to the hash marks, key for this blitz. So 4-6 normal speed package takes your number 3 and your number 4 cornerback and puts him at outside linebacker, left outside, right outside. Just piece of information right there for you guys. Fire Zone 3. Now, the blitzing middle linebacker, yes, we're going to be using a linebacker. I know it's terrible. We want him to always be on the short side of the field. And again, that'll make a lot more sense when we get into gun bunch or trips or any formation, regardless. So, Fire Zone 3, let's go ahead and just, speaking of gun bunch, let's just get right into it. New York Jets gun bunch, one of the best gun bunches in the game. Mesh post. First, let's get this really simple heat out of the way. All you're going to do is baseline. This is the basic one, okay? I don't want you see in the comment section, this blitz isn't that good. This is the basic version of it, okay? And you're just going to simply engage with the offensive line and just drop into coverage and get that looper coming around through the B gap and get to the QB. It's consistent. It's going to happen every single time. But the moment that they block their running back, we have to start adding more people to this blitz. This is where things start to get a little bit more complicated, but we're going to work through it right now. So first off, why do we have this guy on the short side? Well, it's because of this safety right here and the ability he has to be able to be manned up to anybody on any part of the field. So if you wanted to man him up to anybody on the bunch or anybody on the other side of the field, you could do so. But the moment that I show you guys how to set up the second blitz by baseline and show blitz, you can no longer do that. So if you want to take him and man him up, do that before you go ahead and baseline show blitz. This is if they block their running back, okay? So we've got our blocked running back. What we're going to do is baseline show blitz and see how this safety right here comes down to the line. You're now going to add on an additional pass rush. You're going to take him, blitz him off the edge. And same thing like last time, your user, the 3-rec, you're going to come down, blitz your user, and engage with an offensive line. Now, you can run this as a contain. If they're going to scramble out away from the pocket or away from the blitz, you probably want to slap a contain out there so your defensive end can get off the block and chase down the quarterback or force them to stay inside. So right here, we're going to go ahead and stand right in front of the right guard. We blocked our running back. And we're just going to simply engage like always. Get the guy looping through off the edge. We got a guy coming off the edge. We got a guy looping through the B gap. And somebody's going to get to the QB. Now, yes, there are adjustments we can make to the backside. We'll be talking about that in the second half of this video. But for now, we're going to stick to the heat portion of it. The other way is take Hallman and really show pressure. Okay, now right with this kind of adjustment, I don't know, sometimes he likes to jump back. Sometimes you just got to move him. With this particular adjustment we're doing, you can now drop Jackson into a hard flat. Okay, and then you can go ahead and send Adrian Amos off of the edge. And I like to slant my D-line out right here, blitz your user, and QB contain. Now, again, you don't have to QB contain. It's optional. It just helps with a mobile QB and sometimes getting pressure to come through a little bit better. This is versus a non-blocked max protect. Okay, you can see we get both guys off the edge. And yeah, they have the flats open. I know that. But again, with simple adjustments, we can take care of that. There's just some risks involved with it. So again, baseline show blitz. Bring this guy down. Maybe move him out just a little bit. You can see right there. There we go. We get him to stand right where we want him. And with the blitz that we're setting up now, you can drop X into hook curl, hook curl, vert hook, hard flat. You can man him up to the running back. You can man him up to X. I'll kind of show you guys what you can do when you man him up. You see you can only put him, Sam Watkins, Le'Veon Bell. Kind of similar to this guy. When we show blitz, notice we cannot put him on A, RB, or B. Before we baseline and show blitz, you could. And then you could go ahead and baseline show blitz and you'd still remain manned up to the person that you want. But just some things you need to be aware of with that. So if we want to run it like this, I usually like to go ahead and drop this guy into a vert hook, especially if they're going to block the running back. So again, we're going to simply engage with the offensive line after our QB contain is set. Snap the ball, engage, disengage, and you can see screaming off the edge. And that guy actually came off the edge too. Dual pressure still. If they go max protect, okay, we have baseline show blitz. We brought this guy down, right? We're blitzing our user. Stay there, Hallman, stay there. Maybe we need to move him outside just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and really dial up the pressure. I don't know what the fluff that was, but we're really going to start sending pressure at the quarterback. And again, if you're facing a QB that's mobile, contain's going to be helpful to force him to stay inside and get that looping B gap to come through instead. So max protect. And at this point, it is critical that you engage with an offensive lineman. Now, this is essentially an engage 8. When you're running this blitz, it's a long down. Like we're talking 3rd and 20 plus, okay? Really, really long down for them to be able to try and get a first down out of it. You cannot send a blitz like this every single snap, especially on the short down situations, unless you play it like that, right? Or put them on the cloud flat, soft squat, and just watch out for anything deep. Again, if you do this, you've got your whole assignment as a user changes completely. And so I like to just run it like this and then try and bait them in the flat. So again, we're going to go ahead and simply engage with the offensive line. And you can see we get the guy looping through, bait the flat if they have a flat route out there, and try and user lurk them. You can give them a pressure look every single time and then just all of a sudden drop off everybody and put that guy in a spy. And now if they go max protect, let's actually go ahead and put this guy into a hard flat. Assuming you guys are going to Mabel with your seam set to 25, whatever. Now, if they've max protect, our job just became 5,000 times easier. And now there's absolutely nobody to throw to. And eventually, who knows? I don't know where that guy walked off somewhere. Eventually, we're going to go ahead and get pressure or force them to roll out. And with the spy being there, we can now go ahead and sack them in the backfield. So this blitz, great way to really just bluff the pressure, because all you need to do is bring Hallman down and you can send him off the edge. You can leave him in coverage. You can send him. You can do whatever you want. You can go ahead and even do something like this. So if you put this guy in a vert hook and maybe even send A off the edge, you can keep it contained also, and it's going to work just fine. Blitz your user, snap the ball, and you can see right there, now we're getting heat off of the other side of the ball. And of course, Patrick Mahomes is just shedding like a madman. It's a matter of tricking your opponents, making sure that they're constantly on edge of never knowing when the pressure is going to come off. If you want just baseline show blitz real fast, you can go ahead and now send X off the edge. And now you're still technically blitzing 5, regardless of engaging with your user. Your user's covering the middle of the field. And get pressure. Again, just simple pressure. That time they kind of did a little bit of a stunt. Normally it'd be Adrian Amos coming off the edge instead. Right there we got the defensive end coming off. Let's try that version one more time. So again, we're ready to go. We've baseline show blitz. Engage with an offensive lineman. There we go. As I was talking about, Adrian Amos is now coming off the edge instead. This is really good for those guys that just like to quick snap you every single down, because all it requires to send a simple B gap is baseline blitz your user and simply engage with the offensive line. And you can see right there screaming through the B gap. So if you're facing a quick snapper, simple baseline shade down for those little double drags, blitz your user, engage. It's easy, it's consistent. And right there, Patrick Mahomes, if he could just take him down for once. If Patrick Mahomes gets sacked, there's nothing open as well, because our user is now occupying the middle of the field. Lastly, and I kind of talked about this a little bit in this video, is some things about coverage, okay? So with cover 3 essentially being changed with how it runs, curl flats, if you want to play more pass coverage, you may want to go ahead and just set these bad boys to 25 for Z spot and then just Mabel this side. I will say, if you do Mabel, this blitz is not going to come through nearly as consistently. So you can run bunch like this, and this is generally how I like to play a simple old gun bunch, and just see if we can get a little lucky with a looping pressure. As I was talking about, it doesn't come through, but that's a pick right there nonetheless. It doesn't come through because you have to rush the 4 down lineman to be able to get that heat to go through the B gap. Again, it's all about just confusing your opponent. So if we wanted to go ahead and drop this guy off in vert hook, maybe spy him, bluff blitz this guy to get him into a 3-ec, and then user this person, and we could shade up. We could also run it like this, or even get really bot-like and just go ahead and bluff blitz that guy and shade up for clouds. Shade up, come on, shade up. There we go, shade up for clouds. And we got the 3 cook on the field rushing 1, and you're still gonna get some pressure on the QB. Yeah, it's gonna be very passive, but again, it's all about mixing up coverages while still giving them a pressure look. So just a few tips with this 4-6 normal blitz. The key to this blitz, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, is changing up where you're sending pressure. Maybe you need to send dual edge pressure. Maybe you need to send it through the B gap, or maybe you just need to play coverage and play very passive, rush 2, and pray for shit. Simple, effective, and confusing as all get out. So guys, that's going to take care of this video. Check out these other 2 videos that are popping up on the screen right now, and we will see you guys in the next one.